scared.
Okay, so I am somebody that is very nervous to like make content in front of people. I've always been like, I don't even make content in front of my husband, and he knows that I do it. He watches my stuff. Like, I'm completely fine for people to watch it when it's done, but me physically recording in front of people, I stutter really bad. So it's a fair warning. I do stutter, and it makes me very nervous. So I am gonna just let y'all know that. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and just do it. Don't talk about it, be about it, right? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are gonna be interviewing James, or SomeQuietGuy1 over here on Twitch. Make sure that if you enjoyed this interview, you go ahead and you check him out. His link will be down in the description down below. So let's get started into this interview. There's the beautiful James. So let's do the very basic questions. I want you to introduce yourself and then tell us how you got into streaming.
As a lot of you have probably heard, I am SomeQuietGuy1 here on this platform. So if you would prefer, most people just call me by my first name, which is James, or the multitude of names that people call me. I got into streaming, oh gosh, probably back in 2019. I always had found it interesting, and it was really funny because when I first wanted to start, I was like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to make a little bit of money and play video games, but like it obviously turned into more than that. But I got into streaming thanks to the push of some old friends. They were like, hey, you do this would be fun, and here we are now. I was very on and off for years. It wasn't until last year is when I like fully like really started going like hard on this. So been at it since about 2019, I want to say. So
out of the 4 years that you've been streaming, what do you feel has been your biggest setback, or you feel is a setback to you?
Like prior to now, or like
since you've been
just in
streaming?
general? Since I've been streaming.
What has been a setback with streaming?
I'd say one of the biggest setbacks is my lack of confidence most of the time.
A lot of people have
the
that.
Biggest thing. Yeah. And so like I am someone that loves to be behind the camera and loves to do the work for other people, or just in general. Like I used to do video production when I was younger. And so I was like, I want to be behind the camera. I want to do all the editing. I don't want to be in front of the camera. So being in front of a camera was also a tough thing because, again, lack of confidence. I always felt I was like, no one wants to look at this mug.
We love you. We think you are so handsome.
I have been hearing this so much. I'm like, and I appreciate it. Like it's helped me, like, confidently wise. Like
I can definitely relate that. I can 110% relate to that, because when I first started, I couldn't talk to people, which is such a stupid thing for me to try and do. It's like this literally has, you have to talk to people written all over it. So if I had, like, let's say, even if I had like a half of the people that are actually in here watching right now, if I had them in the room with me, I would not talk to a soul. If I see them, I can't do it. But I have learned to be more confident in who I am since streaming. And I think that's one thing that people don't understand with streaming, is that you build a lot of confidence doing this. You learn to have a backbone. You learn to enjoy who you are as a person. And it also helps with those things that we always feel like we're not good enough for. My person, like I honestly always feel like I do not deserve half the love that I even get. Like I feel so emotional whenever people tell me how I've changed them. What's your favorite game to play currently? Because I know you like to move around.
Currently.
Yeah.
Currently. I was going to say, like, favorite game in general. Oh, God. Obviously, you see me play a lot of Apex. That's definitely a big favorite of mine. I would say, as of just right this instant, I am absolutely in love with Baldur's Gate. But Apex is a big one. I love shooters. I've been playing shooters since, like, the OG Xbox days. Actually, even before that. Like, I was playing, like, 007 GoldenEye on the N64. So I've always had, like, an interest in like shooter games. Apex kind of like scratches that itch the best right now for me out of all the shooters available. That
it's different from all the other FPS games. Do you deal with a lot of trolls, and if so, how do you handle them?
With trolls, I mean, if you're talking about like bad like people, like bad trolls, generally they don't last long in my stream. If someone starts to get a bit out of line, they're gone. Usually the mods usually do a great job of keeping people in check, so I love them to death very much. We've obviously had to make some choices. Is professional mod troll. Yeah, Fosh is a professional mod troll. We have the good trolls. We have the trolls that will troll me on my stream out of fun, but if we're talking about bad ones, they usually don't last long. So
yeah, we're over here, it gets crazy. Like, they come in here acting like assholes, and like if they come in and start hitting on me, this is the funniest thing that happens over here. All of my guys that are in chat would start hitting on the troll and make it really awkward and uncomfortable. So they pretty much,
way to do it.
They do to me like what that troll does to me, my chat does to them. So it lets it makes them understand, like, this is uncomfortable. Don't do that.
This is what it's like. This is what you're doing.
It's not a good feeling.
Don't really get like bad stuff like that very often, luckily. If anything, it's mostly bots that are like, hey, do you want to get some free follower, or do you want to pay for followers and subscribe? Like, no, get out of here.
I had one last night, and you actually know one of my mods. He's also my assistant, Jacola.
Oh yeah, I love Jacola.
He is one of my mods and assistant, and it was so funny because someone came in and offered me $50 to sleep with them, which before I could even read the comment, Jacola banned timed it out so nobody else could read it. And I was like, holy shit. I've never had somebody literally come in and just ban somebody that quick. If I couldn't even read the chat, and I stay on top of my chat, all I saw was $50. See, even like, it was so funny. What do you think is the most important aspect when it comes to streaming? Would you consider it more staying to a schedule, building a community, networking, getting the best games that just came out? What do you think is the best thing or concept to go with?
Oh boy. For me, I like to say consistency. I don't think you need to necessarily have a community like right away to like get going. Consistency, because people, like, if people see that you're consistent, like they see that they know what days you're gonna be streaming, they know what days you're gonna be on, they're like, okay, I can be here for these days, I can't be here for these days. So at least people know when they're gonna be there. Networking, all of that stuff will come as you go, but I think consistency is important because like there's nothing wrong with being inconsistent, because obviously not everyone's life is consistent. Not everyone has a job that's like, if you work in a job at the time, that's going to be like a 9 to 5 every like Monday through Friday or anything. Like your schedules could change every month, so that does put a damper on consistency. But I think as long as people see that you are streaming consistently and not like doing what I used to do when I first was starting, was like I would stream for like a month and then not stream for like 4 months, like because I was just like, I don't think this is for me kind of situation. But like, and I'm not saying consistency will always help you grow. I'm just saying it's a good
thing to get down first.
Yeah, it's the first thing to get started on. Like if you can set a schedule, I say do it. If you can't, that's okay too. Like, you know, if you're able to stream all the time, you don't need to, I guess, quite have a schedule per se. In my case, I work a full-time job. I have to have a schedule. It's easier for me to set up a schedule when I have that situation. I just feel that's a good starting point, you know, consistency. And then you'll meet people. I think networking is also kind of important though, because I feel like I wouldn't be where I'm at if I didn't start joining the communities that I did in the beginning. Because I joined a community, met a bunch of amazing people, joined a lot of their communities, and they started to see that I stream, and then they started coming to hang out, and now here we are. One of those things, like, it's a mix of things you should probably be doing. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like for me, like I said, my whole thing was when I was starting out, I could not talk to a camera. I could not sit here and just talk. So I did not do the consistency or the networking because I really wanted to just be able to be comfortable with just talking.
Yeah.
So I'm completely fine talking to, like, you know, in my household and stuff, but talking to complete strangers, no. I start shaking real bad and start stuttering, and it's just a whole thing.
Feels a little weird when you're not talking to anyone. So
it was horrible. For like the first 6 months of me streaming, you know those nervous sweats you would get? You're not even burning up, but you're sweating profusely. You're actually shaking because you're cold but sweating. Like that was me the first 6 months of streaming. Every single time I was like, oh my God, I've got to go. I got to stream tonight. I'm nervous. I can't do this. Now I'm just kind of like, you know what? Fuck y'all. I don't give a shit what y'all think. I'm not wearing no makeup. I'm on my PJs. I'm a stream in my robe. Like I literally went from so nervous to streaming in my robe at one point because I was so lazy to even pull myself together. So it's a big change on what we actually, we become more comfortable with things. How do you feel you engage with your viewers? Like what do you do that helps your viewers stick around?
I just try to say hi to everybody. I try to ask how everyone's day is going. I try to make sure everyone is noticed in the chat. I try to like just be there for everyone that's there. And I want people to always just kind of feel welcome when they come in, whether it's their first time, whether it's their 100th time. If they've been here for a long time, I always am like, you know, very excited just to see whoever's there. If I know you well, if you're new, I'm just always happy to see. The fact that you're coming to see me and see how, you know, see what it is I do on my stuff is very cool because it means you're interested. So
I still remember the first time I came to your stream. The first time I ever came in there. And I remember you were playing Apex. And do you remember the first time I played Apex with you? That was the first time. I remember the first time. That was the first time I ever came to your stream.
That was the first time?
Yes.
That was the first time you were there. It was the first time you played Apex. Oh my God. I thought you would have been there before.
No, and I'm like I said, guys, I'm actually a very shy person. And it's like when I first tried to like be part of other communities and get to know people, it's really hard for me to talk to people. So when I'm putting myself into other communities, like if you're streaming, I consider me coming into your chat, me putting myself into your community, me being able to actually talk. And then when you were like, does anybody want to join? And all I said was, I'll join, but I suck at the game. And he's like, no, come on, join. It's okay. You don't have to be good. And you made me feel like there was nothing I could do wrong here. Like I instantly felt almost like your comfort blanket. And I don't know if anybody else in chat's ever felt that way by being over in his stream. But that's the way he made me feel. And it was like, I didn't say a word in his voice chat for majority of that one stream because I was very, very uncomfortable if I said anything because I'm very wide open. So I try my best not to say anything whenever I do that. But you made everything like just so relaxing. You definitely make people feel special when they come in.
I'm really glad because like that's all I want. I just want people to come to a place where they can just feel safe, relaxed. If you had a bad day, I want you to not have a bad time here. I want you to be able to relax. I want you to laugh, even if it's at me. I don't care either way. So like that's why I make a fool of myself a lot on my stream because it's like I want people to enjoy their time. I want them to feel relaxed. And it's like when you came to join in Apex, which I still am baffled at that. I didn't realize that was the first time you were at my stream too. Whenever I play games with anybody, like if it's something like Apex, I never want anyone to feel like, oh, you need to be professional because first off, I'm not a professional at that game. I just like to play it and like actually do play Apex to relax. It is actually a relaxing game for me, which is wild, I know. I don't get heated when I play the game. I don't get like pissed off or angry. Like even if I like get into a match and die in the very beginning, I don't care. I'm just here to have fun. So, like, if I can get other people to play the game with me just to have fun, cool. But I never want somebody. Brandon doesn't like to believe that I play to relax, but I really do. Like, I've been wanting to one day like get a heart rate monitor just to prove that I'm not getting stressed playing this game.
Blame James for the reason why I play Apex. Same, honestly. Honestly, I blame Sarah for making me download the game, and then I blame James for making me play it. And this is the thing. James is somebody that I don't think I could ever say no to. If he goes, hey, come play Apex with me, and I have like, I'm up to my neck in like work I need to get done, but like, you know what? That does sound a lot better than what I've got going on here. I really don't want to edit all this footage. So, all right, let me load up.
Sometimes you need a little break, Sometimes you gotta like just push things away for a little bit, take a break, and then get back to it when you feel a little more relaxed.
Exactly. So was there a certain like streamer that made you feel inspired to become a Twitch streamer more, or was this just something like you didn't even know what it was about until you actually started? Because that was kind of me.
I've had my Twitch account for like 8 years now. I have come in and watched like Twitch from time to time because I think I was just more curious about it. It was hard to believe that people were getting paid to do this for I think the longest time. One of my closest friends, who actually was a roommate for a bit, I actually met her on Twitch. He was streaming. I was like, oh, this person seems cool. He was playing League of Legends at the time. By the way, for those of you, I was a huge League of Legends player back in the day. And she was like, oh, but I don't want to play this by myself. Does anyone in chat want to join? So a couple of us from chat started playing League of Legends with her. She became a really good friend of mine. And I think that was what caught my interest with Twitch more, was the fact that I made a friend through this. Mm-hmm. As good of a friend as I do. And her and I are still really good friends to this day. I think that was what it was. I don't think it was a specific streamer. Like, I loved watching people. Like, I thought it was interesting. I was never super like, oh, I love this big-time streamer, and now I want to stream. Like, that never was what it was. I think what it was that I made a friend through this, That would be kind of cool, too. Maybe I could meet more people that like the stuff that I like. Aside from the original thought when I first started streaming was like, oh, it'd be cool to make a little bit of money and play video games, Kind of the initial reason I actually started, but what caught my interest with Twitch was because, oh, wow, I made a friend through this.
It's the people. It's the people that pull you in.
Yeah.
You have billions of people on this platform sharing the exact same hobby. And I will say I am closer to my community. They're more to me a family than people in real life. And I think I was more, I've lost 2 really good friends. One was a streamer and one was just the person I played with. And that hit me harder than losing an actual friend in real life, as sad as that sounds. But it's like we gain a different type of connection with the people that we play with here. Like our parents may not understand that, oh, you play video games for a living kind of mindset. They don't understand that this is the way the world is now. Everything's online.
Yeah.
I will say, like, you gain a different type of connection with these people, and it's more of an emotional grasp with them. Like I know me and you, we've had such a very genuine relationship that has perspired. It was not so much like, honestly, I just went to a stream, 2-3 months ago? Maybe 4, but he's always been in another person's chat, so that's actually how I met him, is through another person. Like him and I didn't realize how connected I felt with James until he went on vacation. I was like, shit, I thought you were supposed to stream today, so I've been waiting on you. I even uploaded or updated my game just so I can come play, and he's laughing. And I'm like, and then I realized, you're in Florida, aren't you? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I was so close. I was so close to getting it right. Oh my God. Because the previous stream, my game would not download for me to come play with you. It literally was downloading your entire stream.
I remember that message too. Like, I remember you reaching out and just like, you're not streaming, are you? I'm like, no. I was like, I'm out of town this week. She's like, damn it.
I was so trying to be there on time. That was so funny.
That was really funny. Yeah, no, that was really funny. But it was just kind of, it was like you said, that was kind of like the first time. I was like, oh my God, you were actually like, and that made me feel like really like warm inside. I was like,
aww.
You were like waiting to play. Like that was, I feel bad now because I'm not playing, but like, I mean, like, it was one of those brief moments like, oh man, now I wish I was streaming or at least playing the game, but like.
No, it's for me, I try to show support to every single body, but it's hard because Twitch only allows you to have 3 people up at a time for it to be considered a view. So from the time I wake up, even when I go to sleep, I always make sure I have a minimum of 3 people that I support and support me, that I always have up. I always keep people's streams up just because I know that's what I would want for myself, to have some people that are actually really dedicated and trying to support me. So I try to do that to other people. And even if you and I are not gaming together, I try to always have you up. I was like so devastated that you were not gaming because I was so ready to play with you.
There's more times down the road.
Oh yeah, when you come back, it's on like Donkey Kong. How do you balance streaming with other aspects of your life? Because I know that you work weird days and times. So how do you manage your real life and your stream life?
Well, let me tell you.
With great difficulty.
With great difficulty. It's part of the reason why I'm taking a break this month. And so, like, it's been difficult to balance things outside of streaming. For me, it's been tough because it's like, you know, I'm a very extroverted person. Generally need people to be energized and all that stuff. It's kind of hard to explain, but like, I have my friends outside of streaming that I like to see. I work a job that I work. It's a 12-hour shifts, and they're nights. They are only 3 to 4 days a week. It's usually easy to balance when I can stream. So that's why when I work, I prefer consistent work schedules. I can't work a job where the work schedule is inconsistent, just for my sanity. But working nights, that's obviously been tough. And it's been tough to just enjoy the stuff I do outside of streaming. So part of the break is to bring that happiness back to the other stuff that I love doing, and not let streaming turn into a dependency of happiness so it doesn't burn me out. So that way, when I do come back to streaming, I'll be able to be like happy upon streaming and then happy after streaming, because I always would finish stream and I would go into this downward spiral of like just dread and be like, well, now what do I do with my life? So I've been trying to bring that stuff back around and trying to like also figure out, you know, what do I really want to be doing right now outside of streaming. So it's kind of like this month is a bit of trying to discovery and figure out like, you know, what is important to me and what is not.
Now, are you completely taking your way from all social media during this point?
No. So I'm still like on Discord. I'm not active on things like Twitter and stuff as much. I go like jump on and like see what's going on. But like, well, I've never been really that active on Twitter. Well, X, whatever. We're not going to discuss that. Discord is probably the thing I'm most active on because I still want to be here for people. I still want to like play games, which is a consistent schedule. Hey.
I think I'm pretty consistent, but I kill myself for it. Not even gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
I need consistency. I get it. I need it. If I'm inconsistent, it actually stresses me out.
Yes.
So that's why I'm trying to build a schedule back up. like a more outside of streaming, so I can
mentally be better.
Meant to be better, exactly. It's trying to discover, like, do I want to stay at my current job that has been destroying me mentally? I've talked about it a lot. A lot of people know that, like, I can't. Like, I've been looking at avenues of, like, what can I do to maybe stream more? What can I do to... my brain gets distracted a lot. That's why I'm late to my streams a lot, because I'm like, oh god, I forgot to do this.
Do you have any rituals that you do before you start streaming?
I try to make sure I eat. Because the moment I tell people I didn't eat, they're like, you didn't eat, James? And I'm like, no, I didn't, I'm sorry. So I try to eat, which I did eat before this, so you'll be happy, Fosh. I did eat before this. I don't have any, like, crazy ritual things. Like, eating is the biggest one. I try to just make sure I at least eat before. I have a timer on mine. I like to be ready to stream. I need those 10 minutes to kind of just, like, breathe, decompress, shake out any thoughts that I have in my head that's, like, bothering me, so that way I can, like, when I jump on, I can be all good,
Right.
So that'd probably be the closest thing to, like, ritual, aside from, like, obviously posting, like, oh hey, my streaming thing, saying, hey, I'm up, I'm live. But I try to take, like, at least that 10 minutes to, like, breathe, and just any worries, any doubt, anything that's going through my mind, I try to just get out of my head, because I still do. It's like you were saying earlier, it's like a lot of times I'm like, I still feel like a part of me, which is slowly going away, still doesn't believe I deserve all this love that I get on here, on this platform. I try to remind myself, like, everyone's here because they love you, and they want to see you, and they want to be here for you. Like, remember that.
You're doing wonderful.
So,
you're doing great, because, like I told you, you've made me feel so of have a part of you. Like, I know at any moment I can send you a DM and you reply within 5-10 minutes, and it makes me feel special. Other than you have people that literally won't reply to you at all, or it takes weeks to, you have to be like, remind them, hey, I sent you a DM 100 times, and they're like, oh yeah, thanks. You don't take advantage of that stuff, and that's something I appreciate from you.
like I said, as an extroverted person, I usually need people, and I love talking. Like, so it's like when I kind of go through a period of not talking to anyone, I get a little stressed.
How do you come up with ideas for your stream content?
No, oh boy. I will say 90% of the time I wing it.
We use AI. No. All of my stuff is memed.
Meme?
Yeah, every single thing in my stream is memed. So the whole mommy thing, I even got an emote that calls me mommy.
Oh, you're talking about that? So you're talking about, like, the banana thing in my stream?
Anything content, like all of it's content, like your emotes, your overlays, it's all content.
Okay, I was thinking...
And then your special events. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking just, like, the special event stuff. I wasn't thinking about, like, the general content. So, the stuff, for example, yes, same thing. It's mostly memed. So, like, the banana thing was my fault for eating a banana on stream.
Hang on. I think I have that one already pulled up. Hang on. It's on your Twitter. Hang on. Y'all, give me 1 second.
No.
We are going to do this. I want y'all to see this. He does it very passionately.
I wouldn't even say it's passionately. It looks like I'm staring at your soul.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to look at people when you're putting things in your mouth, FYI. All right. All right, guys. Here is the infamous banana eating.
Oh, God. You guys gonna learn a little bit about me.
I saw that earlier, and I was like, oh my God, there it is.
That was literally the very first time. I think I remember who it was. And I was like, I need to eat something. Oh, there's a banana right here. I'm going to eat it because I'm hungry. Eating it normally, and they're like, stare at us while you eat that. You won't do it, you coward. And I was like, oh yeah? And then I did that, and then they clipped it. It's like, oh, what the hell did I do? That was a ploy to get me to do that, and
you walked right into it.
Yeah, ever since then, the banana thing has just been a thing for my stream because of that clip. And so it's like, you know what? I fucking leaned in at this point, even though I still cringe with the stuff that people create from time to time. It's become it's just really funny now at this point. It's really fun. And people love those banana emotes. You can actually thank Wizard for that one, not just Wizard there. The one who actually gifted me those emotes. Nice. So I was like, those are going to be my follower emotes. People have to have those. Even if they don't sub to get my sub emotes, they have to at least have the banana emotes. So,
I love that. I love it. So honestly, if I can give any advice, if you're trying to figure out like how to make you content of some form, always to go with memes that happen in your stream.
Generally,
because it's personalized. It's all personalized, and a lot of people, they don't understand that personalization behind it unless they were there. I did not know it was from you eating a banana.
I know a lot of people don't know that. Like, they're like, what's with the banana thing on this guy's stream? Like, and that's what it was. Like, it's because I made the mistake of that. So, and it's grown into this.
So we had a question earlier. How did you come up with your name?
It's actually my stripper. No, I'm just kidding. Some Quiet Guy actually originated from, is actually an old Xbox Live gamer tag. I made the account because I couldn't transfer my old name when the 360 came out, and I had my old Xbox account on Xbox, the original Xbox. I couldn't transfer it for some reason, so I made a new one. And I was like, I have no idea what I want to make because I'm usually terrible at creating names. I usually like take names from characters or something that I like, and all the names that I made previously for stuff like on games that I played on my computer, I was like, I don't really like that too much. Some Quiet Guy just popped into my head. I'm like, I'm just gonna be Some Quiet Guy because I'm not that loud. Even though I am, I'm not that quiet. Like, I've never been that quiet. And that's the thing. I was like, I'm not that loud when I play video games. And so in the days of, yeah, exactly, 100%. And so in the days of like when I played like Halo 2 and Halo 3 online, back on the 360 days, there was no party system at the time. So it was always game chat with whatever you played. So everyone heard everyone. And I was so fucking talkative. And someone just made the comment. They're like, you know, for someone that's named Some Quiet Guy, you're not that quiet. And I feel fucking lied to. And everyone just started laughing. And I was like...
I love that.
And ever since then, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to live my life in irony with this. And so I think I started using Some Quiet Guy for more things. And then it just kind of stuck with me. I've had this name on this platform since I made a Twitch account. And I was like, instead of making something new, let's just stick with Some Quiet Guy. Because people are going to come in seeing this name and be like, Some Quiet Guy? And then they're going to be like, this guy ain't quiet. It's be like, that's because I live in irony. I don't know how else to put it. I like to make my name be just more ironic than anything. And it's just, you get it, and people notice that when they see your name and you're not quiet, like, you know, for a quiet guy, if someone named Quiet Guy, you're not that quiet.
No, I get that. I do get that because my name, Love Kid, they're expecting me to be like, oh my God, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And then they come and be like, yo, fuck y'all. I don't give a shit about y'all.
It's all an irony. Exactly.
It is. Like, it's the name that draws you in, but then it's the personality that keeps you around. It's just back and forth. I get that. I love that though. I really do.
Someone asked, where's the stuffed banana? Do people want to see that?
Oh yeah, bring it out.
It's on the picture that everyone saw the flyer. This is kind of cursed. This was a gift from one of my mods and good friend from the community. He said he saw this and he was like, I had to buy it for you. So before I show it, who knows Furbies? Like Furbies from way back in the day. So my friend got me this, like, it's like a plush, like, stuffed banana, and it has a Furby face on it.
That is so creepy.
It's super creepy, but it's a Furby.
Why did they make the face like that? It kind of, because of the shape of it, it looks like a monkey.
It kind of does. But Ruby, do you know who got this for me? Why haven't you burned it yet? Because it lives in. I can't burn it. Actually, if I try to kill it, it's one of those things that comes back. It never goes away. I can't burn it. If I burn it, it just comes back, and then it looks more menacing than before. So I have to let it stay, otherwise it will kill me. So Arrowstick, he's one of my mods and a really good friend in our community, and like, because he said he saw it, he's like, oh my God, I need to get that for James. He said that to me, but he wouldn't show me what it was. That was a very wonderful, creepy gift that I got.
What are some of the most memorable moments that you have while streaming?
All the friends that I've made through this, like, that's a big thing. Last year I streamed on Christmas Day, and the big reason I did that was I know a lot of people don't get to spend time with family on Christmas or something like that, or don't celebrate Christmas and don't really have anything going on. And so I was like, I want to stream to give people a place to like hang out for at least part of the day. And that was just a really fun time because it was just fun to have people come in and hang out and just be able to relax and just chat and all that fun stuff. So I will say the first time that Ricky Chu rated me was a big one because Ricky Chu's community was the first one I ever joined. I wasn't even like streaming as much at the time. It was just like, I think the reason I joined her, and I didn't join her community for streaming. I joined her community because she had mentioned something about D&D. I was like, oh, I would love to be part of a D&D thing because I was like crazy wild with D&D at the time. It's like I would love to join, and so I joined in for the D&D stuff. And so Ricky was always a big, like, one of my favorite streamers on here. He rated me for the first time. That caught me off guard really hard. Like, I was not ready for that. On May the 4th, on Star Wars Day, I was streaming Star Wars games because I'm a big Star Wars fan. Company SteelSeries, so like these headphones are SteelSeries. They rated me because I was so happened to be playing a game that they were playing on the same time with like 300 plus people, and I was like, the fuck is happening? So that kind of caught me off guard. So those are probably some of the like biggest ones that have just like thrown me for a loop.
Get rated from like large people. It's like a bunch of different emotions. It's panic. You feel like you're gonna throw up. You might, you feel your heartbeat in your butthole. It's like a massive amount of emotions, and it all hits you at once. And then you also feel like you're gonna pass out, but you also don't want to look like an idiot. So you're like, oh my god, thank you. Hi guys. Do you have any future goals for your Twitch?
I know this is a big one, and like I know it's probably something that a lot of people are probably a lot of Twitch streamers, I wouldn't say strive to get to, but would like to get to. Some probably do strive to get to it. I have thought about it a lot. So for the longest time I didn't care about the idea of partner. I was just like, I have the community, that's all that matters to me. And at the end of the day, that is still what will always matter to me, is the community. I would say the biggest goals are growing the community, more really building the place that like can work with other communities, just give people a place to feel welcome, to be able to relax, to maybe meet other people to game with. That's a big thing. I do have kind of a goal to make partner, and mostly the reason for that is because I would love to create a Twitch team, because I know you have to be a partner for that. I've talked to a few people about it, and I thought it would be really fun to create something like that. I mean, I don't mind the idea of joining another Twitch team, but I love the idea of creating one, and I think I've just always loved the idea of creating things. So even if I don't feel like I'm always the best at creating things, I don't know, I think that would be super fun to do. I guess I just kind of want to keep growing on here, just to give people a place to have a good time, to relax, to feel welcome. Obviously every now and then, and I know it's a thing, I'm sure, and I know you understand, I know a lot of people who stream understand that sometimes we got to make decisions. There are people we can't keep in our communities for obvious reasons. I want to do my best to try to give it a place to feel, for everyone to feel welcome and safe.
Yeah, but it's really hard when members don't make it feel as safe.
Exactly.
So yeah, I do understand where you're coming from with that. And it's such a hard choice. It really is a hard choice to keep somebody or ban them, but you have to think of it as a big picture, not emotions involved.
Exactly.
And that's
so
where it's hard.
Yeah, it's like, look at the bigger picture, James. Realize that this is going to be better at the end of the day, even if it sucks for the person that you're going to have to do it to. Like,
and daggone well they're going to end up in your DMs explaining themselves.
Oh yeah,
happens every time. Every time, like, come on, dude, you got banned. Well, why did I get banned? This is what happened. I already saw the messages. I know what happened. I've had it happen so many times when we ban people in the community, and then they jump in my DMs. I'm like, dude, I'm a stand by my mods. If my mods feel like it's more necessary for you to be away from me, then that's what we do. Speaking of mods, how important to you do you feel mods are to a stream?
I feel mods are very important. I feel mods help the streamer be able to relax, to do what they're doing, knowing that there's someone there to kind of help filter out the bots, the bad stuff, especially having someone that can be flip the switch without having to think about it too much is kind of nice, because I overthink things a lot when I see something, and so sometimes I struggle. Usually the mods are very quick to know, be like, oh, get that out of there, because I struggle sometimes to know when to ban or delete something, because I can't always, because that's the thing with text too, you can't always read someone's emotion.
Right.
Now there's sometimes obviously it's very obvious what they're saying, and then sometimes it's I don't know what you're trying to say. I think mods are very important. I think without mods, I think our streams might fall apart sometimes, especially when you're doing something like an event or something.
Yes.
Mods help
so
things
much
track along so well and deserve so much love.
We give one warning in the end. We're very quick to it. I know that in my stuff we're very flirty. I have a very strict rule with it. I will flirt with girls. I will not have a guy flirt with me. I am married and I have a respect for my marriage. However, when it comes to females, I believe that all females should be special and feel special, regardless if it is from me or somebody else, but not overly done where they make them feel uncomfortable. And I feel like on this platform, a lot of females don't feel special. Yeah, so having good mods is very important. And not saying that just because somebody is not good at being mod for one channel that they're not going to be a good mod for another. They're just not the mod for your channel. So yeah, I mean, I strongly believe that having a good mod system is very important.
Probably quite a few mods, because like I have this thing where it's like, you know, you're doing this on your free time. I don't want you to feel like you have to be at my streams at all times. I have a lot of mods because like I don't want anyone to feel like, because you know, this is obviously on your free time, you're not getting paid for this. I don't want you to feel like you have to be here like at all times. Like if I ever get to the day where I pay the mods, you bet I'm gonna pay the mods.
We all want to do that, to be fair.
Yeah,
I would love to be able to pay my mods so that your community can donate to pay your mods. Yeah, like we really want to make sure that we're providing for those who are keeping us safe. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize. Like we do give a shit about y'all, and we know that this is time consuming.
Like the fact that you're putting in the time to like be here to make sure that we're safe. It's like,
what do you see is the most common mistake that smaller streamers make?
That is tough.
Do you want me to say some of the ones I think, and then you can
afterwards? Yeah. Let me, because like I'm just really bad.
No, it's okay. That gives you a little bit of time, and then you know the chat can start asking questions. I feel like people do not beef up their about me section enough. I feel like they keep it very basic. They need to really emphasize on who they are on top of what they do. About me section is actually very valuable. It gives people a perspective of who you are before they ever check out your channel. I feel like a lot of people do not market themselves enough. They either do it just when they're going live, when you have to constantly stay on top of things. So by the way, guys, these are Twitch tips if you ever want to figure out ways to grow. So these are all stuff that could help you. People don't market themselves. What I mean by this, I can get on Instagram and you can go to any Twitch streamer's Instagram page and just look at their main page, and it's always a selfie, and underneath of it is going live, come check me out, going live, check me out, going live, check me out. It's not, there's nothing about them. Why should we check you out? What do you add? Are you funny? Do you have kick-ass gameplay? Like, what is it about you? So that's one that I think that a lot of people need help with. Like, allow yourself to be open. Allow yourself to show who you are.
Yeah, and I can understand that being tough, because as someone who usually hates to like self-promote, it's very hard to self-promote. And the biggest thing I've learned from that is like, that's why I started posting, like you saw and I'm sure most people have seen the clip of me posing on my dog's bed, but that's why I started taking clips, turning them into reels or something like that. Like that's a small snippet of like, this is kind of what happens on their stream. You know, you get a little bit of idea what this person does, what this person likes to do, you know, what they're like. You know, is it the kind of vibe that fits your vibe? Because there are streamers that I've gone in and hung out with for a little bit, and I realized I don't really fit the vibe as much, and so I don't go as much anymore. You know, that's a good way to promote yourself without feeling like, you know, because I never want to feel like, oh, you should be coming to watch me right now kind of thing. I don't know. I think that's weird. It's like whenever anyone's like, whenever I go into someone's stream and they're like, hey James, can you shout yourself out? I'm like, no, I hate doing that.
Oh my
God.
God.
Hate shouting myself out.
Or when 100%. Other people ask you to shout them out. They just joined you. It's a first time chatter.
On top of what Wizard, that actually goes on top of what Wizard was saying. So he's like, one thing that Wizard said is I would say not branching out and getting to know others is a big thing. It's good to network in Twitch. I think it's good to network. There's a line you don't want to cross. Like you were saying, don't go into people's streams and say, hey, can you shout me out? Or, hey, like I'm a streamer. Like, you know, there's still some etiquette like that you want to like, and some streamers don't mind as much. Like I don't mind too much when someone talks about their stream, but some people do. Some people don't like it when they are like coming in to promote themselves. There's a difference when like if I ask you a question about what happened on your stream or what you did,
yes,
is different than you jumping into someone's stream and going,
okay, well, gotta go get ready for my stream. It starts in 30 minutes.
That's a big thing. Is like I never will tell people like, oh, I'm getting ready to stream. Like I never do that. Like if I am hanging out, I'm just like, I'll be lurking. Like I'll be here. Things like that. That's generally what I'll do. Like to say like, oh, I'm gonna go get ready for my stream and things like that on someone else's stream. It's like,
I thought that's what lurk was for.
It is. That is. I mean, that is
yeah. You can use lurk for like, all right, well, I'm gonna keep you up for a little bit. Gonna go lurk. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you can do it that way as well, but definitely don't just sit there and just be like, okay, well, stream starts in 10. I'll have you up. Bye. Like, don't be that person.
It's like a big thing. Like I think people should not do, and it's like, and I think for a newer streamer, that's what that can hurt them. People don't really want to go to someone that's expecting people to come watch them. Like, that's a big thing. Don't expect things. Like, don't have expectations in the sense of like, oh, people are need to come watch me or going to come watch me. Where it's like, for me, I know a big thing is like, I hope people come and watch me. If not, that's fine. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, even if I just have one person one day, that would be fine.
Brett actually said something that would actually piss me off as a viewer. Okay, so I know this one streamer that would have mods manually shout everyone out. First off, you should never do that. If somebody comes into your stream and you just randomly shout every single body out, and there's a reason behind why I feel this way. You don't want to just give people everybody, like, have everybody's attention on them for multiple things, because a lot of people like to use that to their advantage. What I mean by that is people will only come to your stream for that shout out and then bounce. So they're using you for that. So I wait until they add value. What I mean by add value, if they raid, if they follow, if if they said something really funny, I always say I always read aloud what's talked about in my chat, which has gotten me in trouble, by the way. So I got to make sure I read ahead before I ever read aloud. But yeah, I highly recommend you don't do that, because people, you get used that way. If they mention anything streamer related, even if it was a question related to OBS that they couldn't figure out, they time that person out. You're giving them a free promo and then getting mad at them for self-promoing. Make it make sense.
Yeah, I see the bots where the people have like someone will come in, they'll automatically shout them out. But the bots are set specifically for specific people. So it's like someone that is like a good friend, or someone that is there, to support you, kind of thing. Like, I think that's kind of cool when you have something like that. I get the whole like being careful about that too. I think that's why there was at one point I used to just have shout outs go off like crazy. And then I was like, I think I want to slow down now, and I want to try to just keep shout outs to like a limited thing to, like, for a while I was like, I want it to be kept for like raids, or for like special events for people. If someone's doing like a birthday stream, or if someone's doing like a subathon or something,
that's what I do.
Shout them out. Or if it's like, or if someone raids, then because I want the shout outs to still feel special,
right, to
people who come in. But then at the same time, I would like to have something for the people that I know are like regular or someone. So it's like,
but they add value. They add value because they're regulars there. They're there all the time supporting you. That's value. And Dragon said he adds no value. You do. Because I see you in his streams all the time. You are added value.
I want shout-outs to feel special for people. And it's just like, because there'll be streams that no shout-outs get given out or something. And it's not that I don't care. It's just sometimes I just don't think about it, because my brain doesn't always want to operate at the same level as it does every day. Then there are days it's like, like if someone's a little bit new to streaming, or if like they had their first stream, you guys should go follow them and hang out with them.
Yeah.
I want to give a love where I can, because I do want to see growth. I want to see people, like, Twitch is not a competition. I'm not trying to be better than anyone. I want to see everyone grow best as I can. And so I'll give shout outs when when we can. But it's like, as long as people aren't coming in expecting that. For anyone that's newer, don't do that. If you want to start streaming, don't do that. Because it's gonna hurt you more than it's gonna help.
Or Bun Shepherd said, James, what makes you happy?
Right now, getting out of my current job and spending more time on like here with like all of you guys.
Then do it. Life's way too damn short to be wasting it being miserable.
I know.
So I'm gonna ask you, James, and I'm gonna be real with you, and if this is too personal, it's okay. You don't have to answer. You can just tell me I'd rather not say that. What would be the minimum amount that you feel you would need to make a month for you to quit your job and make this full time? Because you're obviously going to be growing. You've got.
I would need to at least be. I would just need enough to pay my bills. My goal was to at least get one of my things paid off and then quit. That way, I have less that I have to pay off. So
I can respect that.
Yeah.
For me, $1,000 a month. I just want to be able to pay my half of my mortgage. That's all I want. And I'm trying to figure out like multiple outlets so that I can do that. Because I don't want it to just be like, subscribe to my channel, make me money. God. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be something as simple as, hey, just go check out my YouTube video so I can, do it that way, because that costs you nothing. Spexy remade your name. It's called Some Quiet Rant. Hot tub content coming soon.
Oh, God damn it. I wouldn't say coming soon.
Duo asks, what do you think streaming brings you that you are unable to find anywhere else? And to me, I would have to say that's acceptance. What would you say is for you?
Oh, that's a big one, yeah. As someone who, and I'm not saying that my friends outside of streaming don't accept me, but like this is the most I've felt accepted. Like I felt like I belong here. I don't feel like I'm just on like the sidelines. Just as like I actually feel like this is a place that I belong. That and a community. You know, you go into someone's stream and they recognize you. You know, it's like wow, it's like really cool.
Sideburns asks, what is one regret you have with streaming? For me, getting involved with others' drama. Amen. Not showing who I was sooner.
Generally do a pretty good job of staying out of trouble. I do what I need to do to like, you know, do the things to get whatever person is out and done. Pretty good at staying out of drama. Probably one of my biggest regrets is, I guess, probably not being more confident in myself sooner on something like this. Like, even though now I'm more confident than I used to be. I wish that I had given this more of a chance the years ago when I was first starting. Being more myself. Like, otherwise, I don't really regret too much what I've done here so far. Like, I'm pretty happy with everything so far. Yeah, I will say I do regret one thing with, like, I let streaming come between me and some friends. At least I feel like, and like, that still kind of bothers me to this day, because I had said I wasn't going to let that happen, and it did happen, even though I was trying my best to not let it happen. And it
But you acknowledge it, so don't beat yourself up for it. You acknowledge when it happened, and you're trying to grasp back onto things. So I would not hold that against you. Outside of streaming, what is your favorite things to do?
I love to go to conventions. I love to go to Ren fairs, Highland games. I play D&D with a group. So D&D is a big one that I love to do outside of streaming. When I get back to it, dancing is a big thing, like I mentioned earlier. Dancing is a huge... I want to get back into doing things like hiking and stuff like that, because that was a huge thing I used to love doing. I love to go to the movies. If there's a movie worth watching, I love going to the movies.
Is that all the questions that we have? What was the main thing you had to overcome as far as being a streamer? Self-doubt for you.
Definitely for me, self-doubt. Self-doubt is a big one. Probably the biggest, because I still, even now, will have doubts sometimes. They're not as bad as they used to be, but it's still one of those things. It's like, you know, self-doubt is a big one. It's like, you know, for some people, numbers is important, and people see them for different reasons. And so I'll never tell anyone not to look at their numbers. I'll only look at my numbers after a stream. I never look during a stream.
Correct.
Because it stresses me out if I try to think about that too much. But if I look at it after a stream, then it's not as big. Then it doesn't. And I think another big thing is to, you know, don't be afraid, you know, to be you. You know, not everyone's going to love you on the internet, but you're going to find the people that are going to love you for who you are. And like, I know for some people that's tough, and I know there are some people that do have a bit of a different kind of personality when they're streaming versus outside of streaming, and that's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. My biggest thing is like, I'm trying to be me.